Hey guys, welcome to Philippine Family Life with Leah's channel, and if you're new here, my name is Leah. In today's video, I'm gonna talk about the sexual abuse here in the Philippines. Yes, that's quite a sensitive topic, and I'll have to be really careful with the words I'm going to use because there are some certain words that you're not allowed to mention on YouTube because there are some kids out there watching, and I'll have to be really careful. Anyways, I picked this topic because the other day there's another incident. It's actually very close where I live. Two victim. The first one in somewhere here in Negros Oriental, but I don't know where the place exactly happened. But the girl is in her high school and she is from Valencia, and she get raped and get killed by her stepfather. Yes, so I don't know enough about their, what happened actually, but anyways, after that incident, there's another one, and it happens in Tanhai because there's a fiesta there. Actually, there's a fiesta like few days ago, right after the incidents, and after that, in Tanhai, there's another woman. I think she's almost on her 30s, I think, because she got some children also, and she went to Tanhai just to attend the fiesta. She was from Dumaguete, and she was found on the river somewhere in Tanhai, and she was naked. She have only bra on, and she's dead on the river. No one's really confirmed if she get raped also. But I think it's very obvious that she also get raped because she was naked down there. So it's very a shame that it's happening here in the Philippines, especially that Philippines are known as very religious country. And it's a shame that it's happening here. I know it's also happened in some other countries, but it's just more shame that here in the Philippines, because it's a religious country. People known as, people go, like most people go to church and do the thing. But you know what, we're living in the real world. There's some evil anywhere you go, so you have to be really careful. Anyways, one of the reasons why there's a lot of cases like this here in the Philippines, because I think I mentioned this in my previous video already, that some Filipine parents are not advanced when it comes to like what's gonna happen with their children. I mean, if you come here in the Philippines, you will see children walking on the street like 3-4 years old. I mean, I don't think it's a good idea to let 3 or 4 years old to walk in the street, right? I don't think I'm that irresponsible, but sometimes I think that way too. I don't think further when it comes what's gonna happen with my children. It's just different since I am with a Western guy, that they are very very advanced when it comes to what's gonna happen. They're very protective with their children, so it's just, I know what's the difference. I said a lot of good things about a Filipino women. Filipina parents are very loving, something like that. There are some Filipina parents that is not responsible with their children. I mean, I have another coming up interview with a Filipina. She was actually abandoned by her mother, and her father already died because of the heart attack, and her mom just abandoned her and decided to go to Manila and look for another partner and leave her with her brother. I mean, there are some cases like that here in the Philippines. Not all Filipina are very responsible. So there are some Filipina that they already got children and would decide to date a person, and after a few weeks being in love, there are some cases like that they would decide to live in together with their children. I mean, it's not really good idea. I mean, if you're going to date a person, especially if you got children, your life is not all about you. You choose to have children, so you gotta think also what's best and good or safe for your children also, because it's not all about your happiness all about your pleasure. You have to think about your children too. So when you're going to decide to date and put another person to your life, it's also your children's life. So you have to think about if or you have to get to know this person deeply, if this person have a good moral, not alcoholic. Well, I say this because Philippine, I'm not saying all the Philippine drink alcohol, but a lot actually drink and can lead it to addiction, and some of them would even like become violent when they drink. And I mean, I went to my province the other day, and you will see people sitting outside their house and drinking. I mean, it's crazy. Okay, I have no problem with drinking alcohol as long as you put the alcohol in your stomach and not on inside your head, because it would lead you to uh, like, devil thoughts, not a good idea. So if you're going to date a person, it's really important not to be with alcoholic person, especially if you got a children, because I don't think it's a good idea to surround your children with a person that is alcoholic. It's not healthy, it's not safe, it's really not good. For all the parents out there, especially mother, it's very important to communicate with your children, because make your children feel like they can talk to you everything, they can share with you everything, because there are some cases that the children would hide what people do to them because they are scared and they're shy, they're embarrassed to share it with your parents. It's very important to treat your children as your best friend, also to communicate with them, to ask them how they're doing, how they feel. It's very important. Before, my mom used to work in Manila, and she leave us in from the province like for a year. She will only get to see us like once a year, and my mom would always communicate with me, even on just phone call. She would always make an effort to call me. And when I was like in my elementary, I experienced this also, but it didn't get to the point that it go bad, like I get raped. No, I never get into that point. It is because of my mom communicate with me. By the way, it's not happened by my relatives or family, it happens by my neighborhood who did it to me, and I tell my mom right away, and my mom did an action, and it stopped. So and that's why I said it's very important to communicate with your children, because that can avoid also what can, it can get worse, if your children doesn't communicate with you, if she doesn't tell you anything, if she is scared or something, this person who doing bad to them will do like over and over, and until it lead into worst situation. So it's also very important to communicate with your children, because there are some cases that it's not only happen with by their people around them or people from the outside their house. Sometimes in some cases it happens by their own father. Please, to all mothers out there, always communicate with your children. And also another thing, if this person, like your boyfriend, if you see some bad behavior or some inappropriate action towards your children, you have to run. If you already see some signs, I mean, what's the point of staying with this person? Well, I say this because there are some, I can't believe that there are some parents actually this irresponsible, that there are some children that would tell their mother and they would not believe it, and would rather choose to believe their partner something like that. And I can't believe there are some parents are like that, can be this irresponsible. Your children, I always put this in my mind, what my mom told me, that your children is your own blood, and you can always find a partner. Yes, but your own child, that's your own flesh, and you have to put your children first before anything else. So that's my mom told me, and all the parents should think that way, that it's just a partner. I mean, if he's not genuine loving your children, I mean, run. I mean, it's not a, it's it's not all about your happiness. It's not all about you. You have to put your children first. So if you already seen some red flags, it's very important to investigate or to always watch out this person behavior towards your children. I think it's very important to you know so you can avoid this kind of situation, because children are innocent. They don't deserve this kind of things, or they don't deserve this. Also, another thing, I think it's like at least 50% of the children experiencing this because of this reason, or because they don't have their parents with them. I think most of you already know that there's a lot of OFW, like overseas workers abroad, like Filipina who works abroad and leave their children from here in the Philippines. And I don't blame them, because I know life is hard and they want to have a good salary. They would say that they work for their children, they want best for their children, they will go to abroad to sacrifice themselves so they can give a good life for their children. Ask your children if these children wants material stuff or wants to be with you. And I can guarantee you that most of these children would rather to be with their parents rather than having material stuff. Because when I was I was young, my mom used to work in Manila, and she will only get to see us every Christmas. And every Christmas I would get so excited, and she would usually go back to her work like after the new year, and that's my nightmare. And I would always, every time my mom would go back to Manila, I would hug her legs and I won't let it go. And oh my god, it was very bad experience. And I always told my mom that I would rather to be with you than having these material things. And most of these children don't want a material stuff, don't want to be rich, don't want to have, I mean, they want to have money, but they would rather to be with their parents. If I guarantee you, most of their children would rather to be with their parents, because they want care, they want love. And it's really different if, most of these Filipino would leave their children by their uncle, grandma, or some of them would leave a relative. And sometimes they would just treat not same. Like, it's still different if you're a mother would care for your children. It's different with like other people, like even if you're family members or something, it's still different. If it's different. The love of the mother is totally different. So if you're doing it, you work abroad and leave your children here in the Philippines, or no, what are you gonna do with your money if they're living a miserable life from here in the Philippines? If they're living like in hell, like they're not happy and they don't feel loved by you, if they don't feel care from you, I mean, the money is useless. If life can get that hard, why not sending your husband to find work? Because the husband should be the provider and the wife should stay in the house and take care of the children. There are some opportunities like that, but in reality, here in the Philippines, Filipina go find work like in Manila or abroad and leave their husband in their house. And in some cases, the husband is not even spending the money in the right way. They, some of them would drink or smoke or whatever, and sometimes they're cheating. I'm not saying all of the Filipino is in that same situation. There are some good Filipino would spend the money in right. Forgot to say my point. So in some cases, Filipino work abroad and leave their children here in the Philippines, and their children experiencing this from people that surround them. Yes, I know it's really sad, but it's happened that sometimes, especially in the province, the children would just walk around and go anywhere in the jungle and, experiencing this stuff, and they're not even educated enough about that it's bad. It's, if someone do that to you, it's wrong, it's not normal. Some of them are not educated about sex. So Anyways, it's very sad, but that's the reality here in the Philippines, and it's happened a lot, especially if you're watching documentary on YouTube. I do watch a lot, and it's the cases of sexual abuse here in the Philippines is going rise up. It's a lot, and it's so sad and a shame that especially Philippines are religious countries. I feel sorry for all the victim. I do, and the children don't deserve this. I totally feel bad for them, and there's nothing I can do. Only the government maybe can change this. So, anyways, thank you so much, guys, for watching till the end, and hope you enjoy this video. Thank you for listening, and hope to see you in my next video. Bye.